Welcome back to Cake's Glorious Bakes. Today I'm going to be making a coconut cake. So if you like coconut and you like cake and you like coconut and cake together, stay here. Okay, so here we have 115 grams of unsalted butter cut into small pieces, 225 grams of self-raising flour, 115 grams of golden caster sugar, 100 grams of desiccated coconut, 2 large eggs, or if your eggs are smaller you can use 3 eggs, and 4 tablespoons of milk. Now I'm preheating my oven to 160 degrees or 140 degrees fan, and then we want to get ourselves a loaf tin, around 900 gram loaf tin, and lined with baking paper. Okay, so I've washed my hands and removed my rings and given myself a nice little plaster because we want to cover up any cuts. Even though I don't have a cut, I have a little scar there from when I burnt myself on an oven rack. So get yourself a nice little plaster, and if you haven't got the children's one, then I'm sure any colour will do. But mine is cute. Okay, so here we go. So while our oven is heating up, we are going to sift our flour into our bowl with a pinch of salt, and that is step 1. Got me sift, got me flour, and we start sifting. This is to get any major lumps out. So there's our sifted flour. Shake it, baby. Okay. Then we're going to get ourselves some salt. Just put a little salt in. I'm using Himalayan. Just a little bit. Then we are going to start rubbing our butter with our fingertips into the flour and the salt until it resembles like breadcrumbs. So guys, make sure your hands are clean and your fingertips are ready, because now it's step 2. Okay. As you can see, our butter is quite small, which makes things easier. And then we're just going to start by dotting this butter around here and there in the flour. And this is cold butter. Cut into nice small chunks. So we cover our butter in the flour. Like so. Then we get these fingertips ready. Okay. pick up your butter with your flour, and we start gently rubbing together. And we're going to do this until we've got nice breadcrumb consistency. A bit like, I suppose, like when you're making a crumble. We want that kind of breadcrumb look. This just gives the cake a nice lighter texture. Because we're adding the coconut, we don't want to dry the cake out, and I don't want to put it through a mixer because it's nicer and softer doing it by hand. So, as you can see, it's starting to break up. We've still got a little way to go. I'll just pick it up and show you in a second. So it's starting to break up, so we've got quite a way to go. So we'll just forward this bit. Okay, so here we have our breadcrumb looking mixture, nice and fine. Next we're going to add our sugar and our coconut. So in we go with our golden caster sugar. Just going to give that a little mix around. Make sure it's all mixed in nice and evenly. Okay, then we're going to go in next with our coconut. We'll do half. Smells really nice. And then we're going to do the other half. You can really smell our coconut coming through. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Now we're going to add our other half. And it helps if you have a nice deep bowl to do this, because otherwise you'll flick it everywhere. Oh, this smells really nice, guys. Smell that coconut coming through. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Next we're going to add our eggs. We're just going to lightly beat them. So, got myself a little whisk and some eggs. I've got 2 eggs, but then I've got kind of like a smaller yolk there, so like 2.5 eggs probably, because they wasn't large. So I've decided to add a little bit more. So I'm going to give them a little break up and just lightly beat. Just like this. And then we're going to tip this into our dry mix. Along with our milk. 4 tablespoons of milk. And then just going to give it a nice mix through. So what we're looking for is a nice drop-in consistency as a final result before we tip it into our loaf pans. I'm going to carry on giving this a little mix a minute, and I shall see you in a minute. Okay, so I decided to add another egg to my mixture because, as I said, it wasn't very big. So I've now got equivalent to 3 eggs in here. And I also added a little bit more milk just to give it a looser mix. Okay, so what we're looking for is drop-in consistency. So it's not too thick that it stays on your spoon, and it's not too runny. Now this is ready to go into our loaf pan. So I've just started filling my tin, and we want to get right into the corners. Now if you don't have any greaseproof paper, that's fine. You can grease your tin with some butter and then a little bit of flour and tap it all over the sides and the bottom, and then tip out any excess flour, and that will stop your cake sticking to your pan, or should stop your cake sticking to your pan. Okay. And if there's any mixture left over, and you've got some cupcases, you can fill those as well. So, once our mix is in, we want to make it nice and flat and smooth. I may be able to put this last bit in here. Okay. Yeah, it's good. So, spread it out, squash it down, make this top nice and flat. This is going to go into the oven for 30 minutes, and then we're going to bring it back out, sprinkle with some coconut on the top, and then we're going to put it back into the oven for a further 20 to 25 minutes until the centre is well risen, the cake is golden brown, and a skewer inserted into the centre comes out clean. So guys, I shall see you in a bit when this little baby is cooked. Oh, so my oven's beeping. It's time to get out the cake. It's been in for 20 minutes, and we're just going to sprinkle with some coconut. So our cake has just come out of the oven. It started to rise, as you can see. Just going to sprinkle some coconut all over the top. So this will go brown, not burnt but golden, as it goes back in the oven. And if you find that it's browning too quick, you can just put some foil over the top loosely, and this will stop it from burning. So this is going to go back in the oven now, guys, for 20 minutes, and I shall see you in a bit. Right guys, so this has just come out of the oven. It's still quite hot. Just want to show you what it looks like. It's all nice and toasted on the top. Nice golden colour. And the sides are nice and bold too. So we're just going to let this cool down completely, and then I'm going to show you what it's like inside. So this is what you're looking for, guys. A cake that holds the shape, that is crisp on top but not burnt, and when we insert a skewer into the middle, it comes out clean. So little wooden skewer or cocktail stick into the middle, straight out, and that's clean as a whistle. I don't actually know what that means, clean as a whistle, but people tend to say it a lot. So this is going to continue to cool down now, and then we're going to cut it open and see inside. So I'm going to go straight through the centre of my cake to see the middle, but usually I start cutting at either end. So nice serrated knife, hold your cake on the end. You can still see the steam coming off it. Yes, because I can't wait for it to cool down, that's why. Right, okay. As you can see, it's very hot, so I'm going to leave it another 10 minutes. I just want to show you the inside of the cake as well as the outside. It's lovely and light and fluffy. And because we have used the rubbing method with the butter and the flour and the sugar, it's given a really nice texture inside. Whereas if we'd done this with a mixer, you'd have a sort of a tighter sponge, especially for a loaf cake. But this is still looking quite crumbly, if you can see. Now it's time to taste. Okay guys, it's tasting time. It's still a tiny bit warm, but I don't really want to wait any longer. So you can see it's nice and golden and crisp. I'm just going to go straight in. That is nice. You can taste the coconut right throughout the cake. It's lovely and crisp on top, and then through the sponge you can just taste it all the way through. It's really nice, and I bet that would be absolutely stunning with some custard, which is a good idea. So I have another little bite. Give it a go, guys. You won't be disappointed.